How's it? Today we are learning how to, in Lightroom, prepare our photographs to print on color paper, make them look professional. So let's get started. Take your picture that you want to use and drag that into your library to import. And once you've imported your image, we are going to edit. So we're going to go to develop. And in your develop mode, you are going to choose the first crop button. And we're going to print on A4, the printer that we have. So we're going to hit crop. And we're going to choose not original, but let's 16 by 10. Okay, so notice it changed to just a little bit. So if you want to move it around and get it to where you want it to be, you can do so. You can also hold down the shift key and drag in if you want it smaller or bigger. I want to try to get my rule of third point on his head right there. Okay, so once you have, and if it's crooked, you can rotate it, but mine's not crooked, so I'll leave it and I'll hit enter. And now you can go ahead and make minor edits to your photograph. I think my bridge is a little crooked, so I'm gonna straighten that out. So for your temperature, if you want to make it a little bit more, even more orange, you can change the tint. When it prints, it usually prints a little bit darker than what it appears on the screen, because their screens are amazing. So I might want to pull up my exposure just a little bit. You can decide on your contrast, your highlights and shadows, your whites and your blacks. If you want more clarity or more saturation, more color in there, you can decide on that. You can also use more your whites and darks or your highlights for your curves if you need to. Don't get too crazy though. If you have certain colors that you don't want shown, like for example, if you have this bright yellow sign and you don't like it, you can take out the saturation, of that sign, or make it less yellow like my son, yes, less yellow, or even more. So you can select colors in your photograph and change those colors. And one thing I do like as well is in detail. You can sharpen your photograph if you don't think it's as sharp as you'd like it. And in, let's see, effects, if you drag it down a little bit, you don't want to do a big vignette, but if you want to just do a little bit of a vignette, if it's like for mine it's a sunset, I'd like a nice little dark around the edges to draw your attention in. But again, if your photograph's mostly white, you wouldn't want to touch that. So there's just some examples of some effects you can use. So now we're ready to print. So go ahead and click on print. Okay. So first of all, on the left side, we're going to go to page setup, and we're going to change our orientation to print the other way, horizontally. Unless you're vertical, then you keep it that way. Then you're going to go here to paper size and make sure you choose A4. Now what we're going to do is we want to create like a nice little black mat, okay, around the photograph. So we're going to go up here to our image settings, and first we're going to hit stroke border, and you can bring it to about 3 or so. And we're going to choose a white. And for our page background, we're going to choose black. So choose a black, like so. And for our image is a little bit too big right now on the paper. So we need to resize that image. So if you click on one side and resize it, it's not going to change the proportions. It'll stay like so. And we can basically go horizontally and vertically. And you want it about the same. So it's telling me how many inches it's changing it in the top border. So just make sure they're about the same. So maybe 1.25, and this one 1.25. Make sure like the top, it's about the same. and these guides won't show up. They're just there to help you make it even. So now it's about the same sizing on both sides and pretty much on top. Go up a little bit and you'll see cell size, and we're going to bring that down to the edge of our image right there. Okay, if we bring it down more, it'll crop it down more if we need to, but we don't need to, so we'll just go right around the edge right there. Now what we're going to do is put in our identity plate, which is, it's going to say, click on edit. If you double click, and we're going to put your name. So if your name is John Lee, and then go ahead, right below the delete key, there's this vertical line, and then put photography. Oh, but do all caps, photography. So go back and John Lee, and keep Myriad Web Pro regular, that's okay. And then what you're going to do is drag that right down and try to center it. If you notice on the top, you'll see the measurements go all the way to about 11.5. So if that's the case, about 5 or so and a half should be the middle. And if you want to see if it's the middle, hit Command Shift 4 on your Mac, and you can go out here in the black and then make a rectangle, and then hold down space without letting go, and then move it over to see if it's about the same. So notice this, I need to go over a little bit more to make it center, and then I can go ahead and remeasure it again, and it's the same. Okay, so one thing you want to do is maybe bring down the opacity. You don't want it to be really bright and take away from your photograph. You can also change the scale if you want to. Don't make it too big or too small. I would say about 25% is fine. You can also type it in, 25%, and maybe opacity 50. You can change the color here, override color, and choose the color that you want to maybe match a color in here. But I kind of like just the crisp classic view like that. And when I'm done here, that's all the options that we're going to use today. So then you're going to hit printer on the right side, and you're going to choose color and make sure it's one copy all and border none, and then go ahead and hit print. So hopefully you learn a little bit more about Lightroom and how to print.